Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Tony, and this is TC's Outdoors. So it's going to be another gardening video here, or picking up where the last one left off, kind of. Gardening is one of my outdoor hobbies that I really like to do, so I figured I wanted to bring you guys along with it. So these raised beds I built at our last home. Our last home we used to struggle with soil. We had it was clay and it was tough. It didn't drain very well. I tried to amend it a bunch of different ways with peat moss and everything else, and pretty unsuccessful with that. So I eventually built these raised beds, and that was the year before we moved out. So I emptied them out, took them with us, and they've been sitting kind of just stacked up off in the weeds, getting rained on. They are pressure treated lumber, so I know that I won't, there's probably people out there that don't think it's safe, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. I did the research. I feel comfortable using it. So it's new pressure treated lumber, so it's not arsenic, it's copper, and the copper that leaches into the ground is so minute that I don't really feel like it's going to do any harm to us. And copper is what they use in fungicides anyhow, so any fungicide that you're going to put in your gardens or anywhere else is going to have copper in it. So that's why I decided, I thought it was a cost-effective, and for longevity I went with pressure treated. So again though, like I don't know everything, and this is all my opinion, so I just appreciate it if I respect your opinions as long as you'll respect mine. So if you want to leave a comment on why I shouldn't have used this, that's fine. Just try to keep it PC. Try to be nice. I like nice. So either way, so if you see me, these are pretty big starts. These are tomatoes. I've got some, these are supersonic in this row. These will be ready in 79 days, and they're pretty big for starts. They're pretty root bound too, so I'm gonna hope for the best here, but I don't know how they're gonna do. I'm gonna bury them up to this first leaf though, so I'm gonna go pretty deep. Hopefully they'll sprout new roots off of the sides. So yeah, normally, oh, it's nice and damp down in there. Normally I would utilize the square foot gardening method when I'm planting my garden, but this year, because I'm not really ready, I don't have as much stuff ready to go into the ground as I normally would. So I don't really have to worry about spacing. There's plenty of space in this raised bed for all of well, not just this bed, but all of the beds. So I'm pretty comfortable with what I've got going on here. Next year I'll definitely be using the raised, or the square foot method. I like to try to utilize all the space I've got. I like to grow as much as I can. So, and as far as supporting my tomatoes goes, I've tried tomato cages a bunch of different ways, different tomato cages, and the biggest, or so far the most success I've had was with the Florida weave, and I just set T-posts on each end, and then I'll weave them with wire or twine, and that seems to be the best. That's worked out the best for me so far. Tomato cages, everything gets heavy, and eventually they collapse, and then you got a mess, or you lose all your fruit as soon as it's on the ground. And so, but either way, that'll be in a future video, because the hardest part about the Florida weave is the pruning and keeping up on the pruning, getting rid of the suckers and trimming off all the leaves that don't belong there, don't need to be there. And so, but right now the plants will be all right. We'll just see if these start to take. Hopefully they'll transplant well. Alright guys, so not the best view of me, huh? Here, let's move over here. So if you see, this is what I do. So all these little leaves on the bottom, I just pinch all that stuff off. I go up to I'll go up to that one. This one, I probably can't get deep enough to get rid of that one anyhow. So, and see how root bound they are. I'm not really sure the right play on this. Maybe you guys could let me know in the comments. I try to break them up as gently as possible, but it's like next to impossible because they're pretty well tied together. But I'm sure there's probably a better way. And then I just get them down there as deep as I can, and then bring the soil up and try to get it relatively tight. But I'll come right up the stalk a ways because I know it'll sprout roots off the stalk. So I'll water these in today, and then we're supposed to get some rain tomorrow. And then maybe next week I'll come out and start getting them supported as soon as I can so that we can get them up off the soil. So, okay, well that's the tomatoes, guys. So I'm gonna move over and we'll do the cherry tomatoes. Same deal on these though. I'll trim those bottom couple of leaves off and plant them down deep. And that way I get some good root growth, hopefully. I've seen this trend on the internet where people crack an egg down in the hole and then put the egg down in the hole and then put the shell down in there and close everything up. Let me know if you've ever done that. Let me know in the comments. I was going to do that today, and then I just remembered about it. So now that I've already got half the tomatoes in, I don't want to start halfway. So let me know if it works out for you though. Alright, we're on to the sweet peppers. So this is one plant that I've never had luck with. I don't know if it was the pH in the soil when I was in the point or what my actual problem was when I was trying to grow these, but I could never seem to get any bell peppers. I could grow hot peppers. I always had really good luck with jalapenos, and I had a pretty good crop of the Scotch bonnets a few times, but for some reason I could not get a decent crop of bell peppers. And I don't know exactly what the problem was, but hopefully I have better luck here now that I've different soil. Hopefully the pH is better in this. We'll find out. So either way, these are just, what are these? They are red beauties, nothing too fancy. Just, and this is a lot of bed for 12 pepper plants, but hopefully they do well over here. They give me lots of time to weed because there'll be lots of places for weeds to grow. That's another benefit of the raised beds. Another reason that I went to a raised bed is it's a lot less weeding. Once you get the bed free of weeds, and especially if it's nice and loose soil like this, weeding, it's easy. You can whip through here quick and knock it out in like not that long of a day, where before my other garden it was such a process. And then usually, alright guys, so unfortunately my camera overheated and I didn't realize it, so we didn't quite catch all of the planting. like I was hoping, but that's how it goes. So you guys saw me do the tomatoes, and I just started the peppers, I think, when it kicked off. So I was saying I kind of have bad luck with peppers as far as green peppers or bell peppers go. I could always grow hot peppers, but I've never really been able to grow a successful crop of bell peppers. So maybe this year, who knows. Let's see, what do we got? We got cucumbers right there. So if you see, I've got them planted all on one edge. I'm going to put a trellis between those two garden boxes. We'll do that in the next video. It'll be kind of fun to show you guys how I trellis those up. I've also planted, if you see the wet areas in there, I've got one row of radishes and one row of green beans. The seeds are kind of a test, experiment of sorts, I suppose. They've been in my freezer for 3 years or more, maybe. So I don't know if they'll germinate or not. I guess it'll be a fun little test. All of the seeds are. So also back here I planted 3 mounds for pumpkins. So if I get 1 pumpkin plant out of the deal, it'll be more than enough probably. But if I can grow enough to give a few away, then that's what I'll do. So, and then over here we've got the ever famous zucchini and crooked neck yellow squash. So hopefully those come up, and those are also freezer seeds for the last little while. So I'm not sure how long seeds keep. I've never had seeds that long. It was one of those things where, you know, we weren't really planning on moving, and if you haven't noticed up till this point, I kind of, when I do stuff, when I buy something, I buy probably more of it than I should. It's just the way I operate. I don't like I don't like running out of things. So, but either way, so that's the garden for today, guys. I appreciate you guys taking the time and hanging out with me today. If you like the video, please hit the like and subscribe, share it with your friends, and until next time, get outdoors and do something you love.